Okay, halfway there. We've finished the punctuation and we're about to start grammar. There's only a few videos because I think there's only a few grammar issues that they throw at you. Dog photos, don't know if that's helpful, but keep going, you're almost there. So this seems to be a very common problem that LANTITE addresses, fewer and less and fewer. It's a common problem for kids, so that's why they throw it at you. Okay, so what's the difference between fewer and less? So if we have a countable noun, so 1 pen, 2 pens, 3 pens, we can count. You can see the plural noun, the S usually is there. We use fewer, so fewer pens, fewer students. That's the one that seems to come up most. You need to be a little bit careful because we can also, not all plural nouns have an S, and the great example for you will be children. 1 child, 2 children, 3 children. Again, it's a plural noun, so we use fewer. Why do we use less? Well, if the noun is uncountable, we can't count it. Liquids and gases, so water and oil and coffee and oxygen and carbon, we use less. So we use less water, for example. And also other things we can't count are sometimes called abstract nouns. So you can't actually see them or touch them, or they're things that are ideas. So less beauty, less information. And again, information would be the bet for LANTITE. But basically, if you've got a plural noun, especially if you see an S, then fewer is your choice. And if you've got an uncountable noun like information, we use less as the choice. Okay, let's have a look at an example from the ASA materials. Question 17, recently released practice test, I think. So a word has been left out of the following sentence. Great, we have one word. If we look at our choices, less and fewer, woo, we know where we're going. The sentence is, unfortunately, we have had responses than we're expecting. Responses, it's an S, so that's a countable noun, and it's got to be fewer responses than we were expecting. Fewer if it's a plural countable noun, less if it's uncountable. For uncountable nouns, I haven't really seen them in LANTITE practice materials, but the one that would be most obvious is money. It's a famous one. It's uncountable. Because it's uncountable, we have to say less money. Okay, if we have something tricky like this, I will be very, very surprised. LANTITE really is choosing grammar that is a problem for kids more than for teachers, I think. So they're really trying to guide you down a certain path. But for example, this is a tricky one. 2 hours. You see the S, you think that it should be fewer than, but with time and distance and weight, because those ideas are uncountable, we actually use less than. This is an exception. It's not something that you're going to get, I don't think, but it might be interesting. I don't know if you're still interested, video 6. So less than is used with plural nouns, but they're talking about how much time or distance or money, for example. So less than $5 and weight. So time, distance, money, and weight are uncountable concepts, and that's why we have this strange exception. But for everything else, we go back to the normal routine. So we've got 25 students. Students is a countable noun. There's no tricks here. So we just talk about fewer than 25 students. We use the than because there's a number there. And like I said, I don't think these last two are going to apply for you. Really, you just need to remember a plural noun with an S, it's always going to be fewer. And if it's children, it's still fewer, but otherwise we use less. See you in the next video.